Now, there is a big change coming starting in 2026 for reporting your 2025 tax return. There'll be a new form called a 1099-DA for digital assets. This form will come from U.S. exchange that you have an account at. They're going to give you a 1099-DA. May also be from hosted wallet addresses, maybe other sorts of sites. It's being negotiated. But this form will report a total proceeds column. So how do we handle these sorts of forms? The IRS would love for you to buy and sell everything on one exchange. And this is how people do it on stocks. Everything's on one stock brokerage. And that way the brokerage firm reports on the 1099-B for brokerage the total buys and the sells and the net gain. It's very nice. It's not the way that works in crypto. We're much more self-custody oriented. As a result, these forms aren't terribly useful. What you may need to do is, and what I would recommend doing, is entering into your tax software all the 1099 DAs that you get, and it'll have a total proceeds amount. And that should show up here in your tax software on a form 8949 somewhere. And what you want to do is to then go in and to adjust all the profit out of that transaction. So if you have a 1099 DA which said you had total proceeds of, say, 200,000, and it won't report much, say, of your gains, you want to go in and in the adjustment column, which is here, column G, you want to subtract out all the profit so that the net profit from the 1099 DA entry is zero. Okay, so we're zeroing that out. We're reporting it because we want the IRS to know that we're addressing that particular 1099. Well, let me say it lists all the 1099s that you had. IRS checks if that's complete. So you definitely want to enter the 1099 data using the tax software's format, but then subtract off through adjustments and zero it out. Then use the output from your crypto tax calculation software to enter in the total proceeds and cost basis from your trading activity. That's a couple other things to know whether income is reported on a 1099 or not. And you'll notice here on this form, about a third of the way down, it offers an A, B, or C regarding whether or not the cost basis has been reported on a 1099. So, I mean, ideally, there would be in the neighborhood of 6 ticks and forms based on these check boxes. This is a short-term capital gains. The second part of this form is exactly like the first part, but it's only long-term capital gains, and the boxes are labeled D, E, F. So when you're doing your own gain calculation, that's going to come in as box C, where the short-term gain was not reported to the IRS. And then when you complete your tax return and you have it all loaded up, then you can review it with our review service. And if you have any questions about how this is done, he can talk to you about it. Now, I will say this. If you have a tax preparer and you give him the output from the crypto gains, let's say it's 8949 format, if you get that to him, he will love you, because he doesn't want to think about your capital gains calculations with cryptos. He doesn't want to know anything about it. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't know what he's doing, right? You know, here it is. I mean, it's been almost 10 years since cryptocurrency tax returns have been happening. And the vast, almost like 98% of them know nothing about crypto, don't know what to do. And if you did ask them to do it, they'd do it wrong. When you give them an 8949 output file, they know exactly what to do with that. You're talking their language, and that's what you do. So you need to do your gain calculation. Give them that spreadsheet, and you take your tax preparer out of a very stressful situation. He knows that stuff. He knows how to do it right. With this video course that you're taking, you'll learn a lot of little extras that you want to tag to make sure he does the whole thing correct. But that's the whole purpose of this program.